opposition tonight, Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. The Knights, their tournament trail also very tough early in the sectional, beating Eastside 42-40. Since then, though, the trail has gotten a bit easier for them. Big win for them over Seeger in the semi-state that has put Luers here into this championship game this afternoon. Key player for them we'll keep an eye on. How about Miracle Woods? She wears number 24. She's a 6'1" senior at 17 points and 9 rebounds per game.
One of those players, Rob, that I don't think you can stop. You have to try to contain everyone else. Miracle Woods is just that good.
Well, if you need a miracle, guess what? It's part of our keys to the game. Let's start with Evansville Mater Dei. And a balanced scoring sheet will be so big for them. It can't be just about Maura Mensterman today if they want to find a chance to win this contest. Secondly, you have to enjoy the moment. Think about this. They just won their first semi-state last weekend, ever. So enjoy the moment. You're in the state championship. Have some fun with it. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, they're going to have to be good against this Evansville Mater Dei 3-2 half-court trap. It's one of the best defenses I've seen all season. And guess what? Time for a miracle. As in Miracle Woods, she can lead Luers single-handedly to the state title.
Both of these athletic programs are used to participating on big stages, and so even though Mater Dei hasn't been here a lot, they still have a tremendous amount of school experience. Back with more after this.
A wintry Friday night.
Welcome back to the Holman Center, getting you set for the Class 2A state championship. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers against Evansville Mater Dei. You might think the Mater Dei fans and community much happier about this move to Terre Haute from the state finals in Fort Wayne, obviously much closer, but Fort Wayne Bishop Luers coach Denny Rainier said he was happy that it moved out of Fort Wayne. Nothing against playing in Fort Wayne. He liked the facility and the community, but he said there's something special about getting on a bus, being treated like royalty. They've been doing that this week in Terre Haute. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers ready to defend their title on the IGSA Champions Network.
Okay, I'm visiting a friend, playing a game of foosball, when a stray kick chips my opponent's tooth. Would my insurance cover his dental bills? No.
I have no idea whether it would or not.
Yes, probably.
No. It's his teeth.
You hit it. No.
Yes.
Don't just hope you're covered. Find your policy, then find us. Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Fort Wayne is learning fast that the best place for quality Italian dining is Ziano's. And Ziano's famous breadsticks are handmade daily and brushed with garlic butter and cheese.
Now with 3 locations, Covington, DuPont, and Maysville Road. See you at Ziano's.
Now keep in touch anywhere with a free INC News app for iPhone and Android smartphones, featuring breaking news video, school delays, Viper forecast, and social pages. You're always informed with the INC News app. Download it now, powered by Preferred Auto.
This Sunday,
I will be judging this task.
The celebrities have to please the boss's daughter.
I smell trouble.
I'm totally pissed.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Time to freaking get down and dirty.
New Celebrity Apprentice, Sunday, 9/8 Central on NBC. One of these undiscovered fashion designers is about to go from rags to riches. And their winning fashions will go on sale in stores the very next day. Woo! Fashion Star premieres March 13th on NBC.
The IHSAA Girls Basketball State Championships are presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Also brought to you in part by Methodist Sports Medicine, the orthopedic specialist, and by Wilson, the official ball of the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Mark James, Rob Blackman, Jeremiah Johnson at the Holman Center on the campus of Indiana State University. And there is a good look at Denny Rainier, the head coach, in his 3rd season, a sparkling 62-15 record, the defending 2A champion. Their record 21-5. They have 3 sectional crowns, 3 regionals, and 3 semi-state. Steve Goins patrols the sidelines for Evansville Mater Dei. Their record 26-1. He's in his 14th season with a record of 152-118. They've won 3 sectional championships. This is their first appearance in the state championship. They'll start Ashlyn Spahn and Maura Mensterman. They'll also start Casey Yoakum, who's a 5'8" senior. She averages 4 points, a couple of rebounds. Brianna Dickerson, 3, 3, and 2 in terms of her points, rebounds, and assists. And Tori Schickel, a 6'1" freshman who averages 15 points per contest to go along with 7 rebounds against Bond. Mentionerman, Yoakum, Dickerson, and Schickel. For Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, Catherine Barnett, a 5'4" senior, along with Allison Butler, who's 5'5" and a sophomore. Brooke Ridley, a 5'11" senior, averages 12 and 8 per contest. Addie Reinbold, a 5'8" sophomore, averages 5 points and 5 rebounds. And again, Miracle Woods, the focal point, the 6'1" senior at 17-7 and 9 rebounds per contest. She shoots 63% from the free throw line as well. Rob?
How about 2 1,000-point scorers in the starting lineup for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers? Both Ridley and Woods, 1,000-point career scorers. That tells you they can fill it up in a hurry on the offensive end.
Luers in the bright white, Mater Dei in the crimson, if you will, maroon, whatever color you want to call it, trimmed in gold. And again, interestingly enough, a rematch of the two teams that knocked heads at Lucas Oil Stadium in the 2A high school football state championships, won by Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Mater Dei controls the tap.
Luers opens up in the half court, man-to-man. Defensively, they'll mix it up a lot, but about 70% of the time they're in man-to-man defense.
Very unselfishly, they find Tori Schickel, and she's there with her first 2.
Schickel, 17 points in that regional championship win over Paoli. She is one that can score a bunch of points in a short amount of time.
Barnett left of the circle, looking baseline. Deep three-pointer chucked up. It's no good by Allison Butler. Long rebound tracked down by Miracle Woods, and they'll reset.
And here's that patented 3-2 zone defense by Evansville Mater Dei. Let's see if Bishop Luers is able to attack it.
Barnett for 3.
Instead, what we've seen, partner, is they've settled for 2 long jump shots on their first possession against that 3-2 zone. Exactly what Mater Dei wants.
Evansville Mater Dei with their second possession now. Again, they find a wide open Casey Yoakum underneath the bucket. It's swatted away, but she's fouled.
This is a great pass. Mensterman known for her scoring, but guess what? She's a pretty good passer, too. I mentioned her 22 points, her 7 rebounds. What about 8 assists per contest? Mensterman does a little bit of everything.
Ridley with the personal, her first, team's first. Yoakum at the free throw line.
And in case you're wondering, and I'm sure you are, Mensterman off to college. Well, she's only a sophomore, but she already has a number of suitors calling, wanting her attention for collegiate basketball. She is a special player.
Nothing doing at the free throw line. Missed opportunities there for Evansville Mater Dei. Luers, Barnett. It's a great job distributing. Very patient with the basketball.
These two teams only allow the opponents 30 points per game on the average.
Woods tied up with the triple team off the left elbow. It'll stay with Luers.
And I bring that up because Bishop Luers allows 39 points a game. Mater Dei 37 a game to the opposition. I think both of these teams would love to push this game up into the 60s or 70s and feel comfortable about that number.
They eventually find Barnett. Now Woods trying to back it down. Strong move to the bucket. Turn around from 5. No go. Karam controlled by Evansville Mater Dei. Mensterman, a lot of dribbling, not much motion on offense. Finds Yoakum. Now they'll pick up the pace a little bit with Spahn and company. Deep three-pointer. Guess who?
Wow. Mensterman was way out there on the left wing and knocked down that triple.
Luers to Woods. Knocked away momentarily. She gets it back, tries to force it up and in. It's tapped out long to Barnett. Her rebound shot partially blocked. Now Luers gets another opportunity with Addie Reinbold.
Yeah, Reinbold gets him on the scoring column. She's only 5 points a game, but she gets the first 2 of the game for her club.
5-2.
It's interesting, Reinbold only averages 5 points a game, but she was named the most valuable player in that semi-state win over Seeger. She played huge in that win for them.
Move to the baseline. They'll kick it back out and redirect. Spahn goes to Yoakum. Now Spahn comes right baseline. Gets a screen, opens up near the left elbow. They'll work it inside. Trying to go up strong off the double team. Can't get it done. Ball comes down into the hands of Dickerson. She can't get it control, but there's a foul on the rebound.
Now let's go back to that three-point hit just a moment ago. Minsterman way outside the arc on the left wing. Defensively, you're thinking, she won't try that shot, will she? Yes, she will.
That's from downtown Brazil, Rob. Schickel at the free throw line, nothing but that.
Minsterman nominated for the Gatorade National Player of the Year. And again, I can't emphasize enough, friends, she is only a 10th grader. She still has 2 more years of high school ball.
That foul was on Miracle Woods, by the way. That is her first and the second on the team. Both free throws good. She has 4 now, 7-2 Mater Dei. Travel. Unforced error on Annie Reinbold.
Mater Dei does a good job in their 3-2 zone defense. They will run and trap if they think they have you at a disadvantage. That's exactly what happened right there. The ball went to the corner. Mater Dei trapped it, forced the turnover because the offensive player got just a little too anxious.
Aaron Butler into the ball game, a 5'4" sophomore replacing Catherine Barnett. Spahn looks for the high screen.
How about Fort Wayne Bishop Luers? A little junk defense here, partner. They've gone to the box in one. Minsterman is being guarded by Reinbold in the box in one defense.
So now someone else needs to step up. Strong drive to the bucket. Dickerson with the loose ball, throws it up, gets it blocked away. Ball loose on the floor. Dickerson has it, throws it down, fading away. Ugly looking shot by Schickel. She tried to throw it up and in as she was falling to the floor. Luers comes to Miracle Woods and it was kicked away by Dickerson.
Let's keep a close eye on Evansville Mater Dei offensively. You said it. If Luers is going to play a junk defense, then it's the rest of the players in Mater Dei uniforms that are going to have to make a difference for them on the offensive end. They were fighting for loose ball rebounds. They just didn't come up with points.
Woods, strong move, gets it blocked away from behind. Check that. Ridley on the drive, gets it blocked away from behind. She'll go to the line for a couple. Put that foul on Schickel. That'll be her first.
Good look at Brooke Ridley. Mentioned a moment ago, a 1,000-point career scorer. And she'll be playing collegiately next season at St. Francis U right there in Fort Wayne. So she'll stay close to home.
Saw her numbers 12 and 8 on the season. She misses from the free throw line.
How about Coach Rainier? 3 years at Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, all 3 years, including this one, they've gone to the state championship game.
5'10" Morgan Skordos into the ball game. She averages a little over 4 per contest to go along with a couple of rebounds.
I told Coach Rainier, you better be careful now. They're going to start expecting these state championship games every year. You're 3 for 3, partner. Won it last year, lost in overtime 2 years ago in the state title contest. And here they go back to their box and one defense. Minsterman, the one that is being guarded.
Baseline left. Spahn started to load up the 3. Ball knocked loose into the hands of Minsterman. Now they'll come to Dickerson. Dumps it off into a double team. That's a wide open shot. She probably needs to be a little more assertive offensively there. A little less unselfish, if you will. Baseline jumper's a nice one. Skordos gives him a couple of points off the bench.
Skordos, a senior who not only is scoring the ball, she's now guarding Minsterman in the box in one. So they're asking her to do a lot at both ends of the floor.
Minsterman gets it inside, makes the lob down low. Shot put up too strong. Rebound controlled by Miracle Woods. Butler has it out high. Aaron in the backcourt with her. Allison launches a 3 and hits. She said, hey, if you're going to leave me that wide open, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Mater Dei's really packing in the 3-2 zone. They're daring them to shoot the outside shot, and Butler says, now careful, if you dare me, I just might make it.
Luers by 1 now. Dickerson gets slapped and put that personal on Aaron Butler. That'll be her first. And we'll have a timeout on the floor. 8-7 your score. 2:43 left in period number 1.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Indiana's News Center presents the Golden Apple Award.
My teacher teaches us values such as positiveness and pursuing one's goals.
It's important to let your kids know that you care about them other than just school.
She went to my games and she'd bring her dog with her.
And then that in turn makes them even want to do better in school. See those aha moments when they have them, that just makes every day worth it. It's just very powerful.
The Golden Apple Award is brought to you by Vorderman Volkswagen, Bradley Golf Diamonds, and Afdent.
Taking the Comet's historic 60th anniversary to a whole new level.
This is the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the home of the Fort Wayne Comet.
Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. It's your chance to sound off with the Comets. Each week, Indiana's News Center's Tommy Scheckler and a guest Comet take you inside the program, answer your calls, and talk to fans in the audience live from Wrigley Field Bar and Grill. Sound off with the Comets all season long. Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. Presented by PHP, the insurance your health deserves.
One game already in the book of 4 today. That was a 10-point win by Miss Troxel and her teammates at Fort Wayne Canterbury over Northeast DuBois. A pretty impressive display in the 1A championship game, Rob.
Beat them 64-54. We showed you Troxel because she's the only senior on that state championship team. They'll bring basically the entire club back next year to make another run at a state title.
Great finish to the career for Maddie Troxel. 1-point advantage for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Modern Day with the basketball. Deep three-pointer. No good. Rebound control. Thrown up and in too hard by Jochen. Weak side rebound by Schickel. Will earn her a trip to the free throw line.
Watch right here, Mark Janes. On this dribble drive, stepping out of bounds.
Wow. Again,
was the
too many lines down there.
Yeah, and for those who weren't with us in our first game earlier today, the college floor is 10 feet too long. So they have to shorten it by 5 feet on each baseline to bring it to the actual distance, 84 feet for the high school game. Because of that, there are numerous extra white lines on the floor, and my guess is the officials just got a little confused there.
Aaron Wilderman, a 6-foot senior, substitution for Luers. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Schickel has 5 now. They get it down low, and powering the ball up and in for her first 2 is Miracle Woods.
Yeah, described very well. Powering was Miracle Woods. So strong on that low block with a basketball. Not much you can do once she has it down there.
Munsterman for 3 off the front of the iron. No. Rebound comes down to Luers. They'll run it ahead. Get it in the corner. Kick it to Woods. She's looking baseline. Will drive. Throw it up a little short and a foul. Hey, congratulations to Jeff Brody, Rick Gentry, and Steve Correa. They're the officials here this afternoon. Quite an honor for these guys to get the opportunity to officiate a state championship game. Put the foul on Schickel. That is her second, and that's big. That will send her to the sidelines, and she's been quite a presence inside. Good look at Miracle Woods there. She's good on her first free throw attempt.
Talked earlier about Schickel getting 17 points in a regional championship game. There she goes to the bench with those 2 fouls. She is a big part of Evansville Modern Day's success. They can ill afford to have her on the bench for very long at 15.7 rebounds per game.
Beth Fisher, a 5'10 junior, will replace her as Woods is good on both free throw attempts now, and they've bumped the advantage up to a couple in the last couple of minutes of period number 1 of the 2A title game at Holman Center.
And the Knights will stay in their junk defense, the box in 1. Mensterman being face guarded no matter where she goes by Skordos.
Fisher should have gone up with that basketball. She had some room down there. Make the pass down low and throw it away. In transition, Luers, they'll slow it up a little bit. Deep three-pointer. No good. Rebound. It won't go. Yet another chance for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. That's too strong. A 4th opportunity is good.
Too many offensive rebounds. If you're the Evansville Modern Day Wildcats, you cannot allow Bishop Luers that many second chance opportunities or they will take advantage.
Skordos has given him 4 points off the bench now. And suddenly the advantage up to 6. Three-pointer, yes. That'll be huge. That might alter the thinking a little bit in that box and one. Quickly, Luers back the other way. Skordos misses for the baseline left. In transition comes Ashlyn Spahn. Minsterman finds a teammate weak side. That's Casey Yokin, who's there for a deuce, and just like that, it's a one-point advantage for Luers.
Boy, Minsterman is such a good passer. That's the second pinpoint pass we've seen her throw in this first quarter.
Butler throws it into the paint. Ball is held on the floor, out of bounds. It goes back to Mater Dei.
Mater Dei's last bucket. Watch Minsterman. Watch this pass from 30 feet away. Dropping a dime.
That's a dart.
Wow. To Jakob on the finish. That is a big-time pass, but now I see why she averages 8 assists per game. Mara Minsterman.
14-13 now. Mini run here by Evansville Mater Dei, but it looked like Luers was trying to gain some measure of breathing room. Duncan with the basketball, goes to Spahn. Will turn around to the paint. Rebound thrown up and in. Johnny on the spot, if you will, was Beth Fisher, who gives him a couple of points off the bench. They take the one-point lead back at 15-14.
You finally get Minsterman open for a look against that junk defense. She misses, but as you said, Fisher was ready for it.
Butler did not get it off in time. Not very good clock management by Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Evansville Mater Dei comes storming back in the last minute, 15-14 on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Mara Minsterman, such a game plan, such a key part of both teams. When you listen to Evansville Mater Dei, Steve Goins is talking to his team about how they attack with the box and one defense. On the other side, Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, Coach Denny Renier, just talking about you can stay behind everyone else but 33. 33 you have to get in front of on defense.
5 of 15 from the field for Mater Dei in period 1. 5 of 14 for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. So certainly not a shooting clinic being put on here in the 2A title game in quarter number 1.
Well, if I'm the two coaches, I would have been talking about blocking out on the defensive end.
Lots of contact, ball loose on the floor, a held ball, it'll go out of bounds to Mater Dei.
Here's why I say that. We had 10 rebounds for each team in the first quarter. As we look at this scrum right here for a loose ball, 6 offensive rebounds for Bishop Luers, 7 for Evansville Mater Dei. Both teams need to do a better job of checking out on the defensive glass.
Good thing basketball is not a contact sport. Catherine Barnett returns for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, and Brooke Ridley, who averages 12 and 8 in terms of points and rebounds, has been held in check so far through period 1 and then some. Minsterman drives, the kick. Spahn for 3 off the back of the iron. Follow your shot, young lady. We'll come right back to you.
And play the percentages. She's a 26% three-point shooter. I know she made one last quarter, but percentages say you're going to miss more than you make. So, yeah, you need to be following your shot.
Barnett to Butler. Go baseline right. A little 5-footer. Rattles home by Addie Reinbold. That's a nice-looking jump shot in traffic.
Now, Reinbold's been pretty good here in the first half at 5 points a contest. She's gotten a little offense going here.
Team swapping the one-point advantage now as Luers goes back up by 1. Minsterman feels the double team and shovels it along the baseline, and it's slapped out of bounds by Luers, and they'll start again.
Great double down by Catherine Barnett. Even though she's in part of the box defense in the box and one, she saw Minsterman had the ball on the drive, so she quickly doubled down, forced a bad pass.
Good, strong move to the bucket, and the finish by Brianna Dickerson. Barnett, yet to get untracked offensively.
I'm going to mention Dickerson's older brother, Matt. He actually plays college basketball for Marion College.
Reinbold to Barnett. Baseline. I think somebody got a piece of that one as she let it go. Weak side rebound comes down. It's partially blocked. They'll get yet another opportunity. A 4th try. Do they get a 5th? Yes, they do.
Again,
Miracle Woods, Reinbold, they're all fighting underneath the bucket.
Kick ball, possession still to Luers, but yeah, it's all about offensive rebounding. The Bishop Luers Knights are getting every offensive rebound they want right now. Big part of the reason Miracle Woods there taking up space in the middle of the paint.
Reinbold, Woods, and Skordos all had a crack at that one.
But I'm telling you, if you're Coach Goins, you have to emphasize to your club, we have got to check out on the glass.
Letha Flowers comes into the ball game. Barnett crosses over, and the kick.
I will say this for Coach Goins, he's the most calm, cool, and collected coach I think I've ever seen in a state championship. Look at it, just kind of arms crossed, legs kicked out, kind of relaxing. I suppose when you're 26-1, you can be relaxed.
Barnett in traffic, partially blocked. Rebound, or loose ball comes down to Minsterman in transition. Sees a triple team, gets shut off, kicks it out the spot. Dickerson has it baseline left. Minsterman wants it, they can't find her. Wildcats lead it by 1, and they have the basketball as we approach the 5-minute mark of the first half.
Reinbold now doing the guarding of Minsterman in this box-and-1 defense. They've tried a couple of different white shirts on Minsterman in the box-and-1.
Kick in the corner, Spahn for 3 off the back of the iron. Tracked down to the corner by Reinbold, and there was a bump down there, but then she lost the ball out of bounds, and it'll stay with Evansville Mater Dei as the substitutions continue. Coming in is Aaron Butler, the 5'4" sophomore. And just like that, Barnett will go back to the sidelines. Quick inbounds to Munsterman. She had a wide open look and threw it up too hard. Rebound comes down to Mater Dei. The double team. The missed shot. Weak side rebound thrown up and in by Dickerson. She's starting to assert herself a little bit around the glass.
And again, an offensive rebound bucket. Both teams have been very good offensive rebounding.
Ball was kicked. There was no call. It's finally held on the floor out of bounds. It'll stay with Fort Wayne Bishop Luers as Beth Fisher comes back into the ball game now.
That last bucket is a result of an offensive rebound. Compliments of Dickerson. And again, both teams getting fat and sassy with the offensive rebounds. That's where the bulk of the offense has come from for both of these clubs.
Dickerson very quick on the catch and shoot off the rebound. The drive from 5 and a foul. We'll send Reinbold to the free throw line, much to the chagrin of the Mater Dei faithful across the way. Jochum with a personal, that's her first.
It's a good aggressive drive against this 3-2 zone defense. You have to find the creases in the zone defense, typically on the wings, which is exactly from the left wing where Addie Reinbold dribbled that ball in there and drew the contact. The only problem for Reinbold, she's a 52% free throw shooter, as we just saw on that first miss.
Skordos comes back. She has 4 points off the bench. We also see Brooke Ridley returning, and Ridley averages 12 points per contest and has yet to score for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. 1 out of 2 from the free throw line for Addie Reinbold to give her 5.
One thing Luers has not been able to do today is get into their transition offense. They like to run, but Mater Dei's done a good job of getting back on defense and preventing that.
The foul's going to be charged against Dickerson of Mater Dei. That's Brianna's first.
Hustle play, Dickerson just running side. Foul.
Well, the box and 1 so far, mission accomplished, Rob, because Munsterman averages 22 per contest, and she
what they
Mater Dei's done a pretty nice job of neutralizing Miracle Woods as well. It seems as though she has 3 Mater Dei Wildcats on her every time she touches the ball. Ridley with the runner across the paint, can't get it to fall, but there to clean up the mess for her is Skordos, who's given them 6 big points off the bench.
And another offensive rebound putback. I apologize for harping on this point. I sound like a broken record, but it's the truth.
Right.
These two teams have gotten the bulk of their points because they've been good on the offensive glass.
So knotted up at 19 with 3 to go in the half. Dickerson looking baseline and threw it a little too hard. It skipped through the wickets of Casey Yokin.
They have not had a ton of turnovers so far. That was just the 4th turnover of the game for Mater Dei. Bishop Luers also has 4 turnovers in this contest. It's been fairly cleanly played to this point.
Butler comes back into the ball game. Aaron Butler, the 5'4" sophomore, in the backcourt with Allison. Another kick. The 6th or 7th. The soccer game's going to break out here tonight.
Now look, I know that the boys soccer team played in the state championship for Evansville Mater Dei this fall.